What's going on, everybody? It's your friend Will. We're back. Checking out another deck this morning. This is a memory lapse. Before I show off the deck, just do a quick subscriber shout out. Got a couple new ones, which is awesome. So let's just figure out the best way to view that. Here we go. Alright, so we got Edgar, Farius, and Arthur's. Thanks for subscribing, y'all. And that puts us over 100 subs on the channel, which is amazing. A number I never thought would be possible because I'm not really sure how people find this stuff. But anyways, back to the deck. So this is an adaptation of Red White Angels. I was talking to Zealand, who maybe you've seen her feature on some of the black-green run that we did with in the competitive metagame challenge, but I played a little bit with this deck before, and I really disliked it because it just felt like you had your hand, you have a bunch of really powerful cards, and if they answer them, you're just living off the top of your deck. And I like decks that can do things with a lot of mana. I like decks that have ways of drawing cards, recurring threats. Like I like to feel like I'm never out of the game, and so I basically took this deck, shaved some numbers. I shaved an Angel, and Ajani, which didn't seem that good. In fact, like I would be up for shaving the other Ajani even. One Shalai and one Lyra, and I put in 4 Experimental Frenzy. And I know the idea of this card usually is, okay, you play it in red decks, really low curve, but as Zealand pointed out, it seems more or less like this card is Future Sight, right? So if you're living off the top of your deck, which this deck can very quickly get into that position, does not seem bad at all, and we do have a fair number of low-ish costing stuff too, that if you're at turn 5, 6, you could be potentially playing multiple things off the top, and you know, you can always break it when your hand gets clogged. So let's try this out. If you're not familiar with the deck, hopefully you saw enough, but it's just kind of just red-white good stuff up and down the board, and hopefully your Angel closes out the game. So it's one of these decks that tries to create virtual. God, I hate this. I always click this because I think it says competitive constructed, but it doesn't say event. You try to generate virtual card advantage by the fact that your Angels are so good that you know, they either win the game on the spot or your opponent is burning multiple resources. But it is very much a Vraska's Contempt, Plague Bringer, or whatever that guy's called, Plague Carrier, and wow, no, what's it called? Ravenous Chupacabra kind of format right now. I was trying to play with a bunch of different decks yesterday. More with green-white tokens, more with this, and honestly, I never beat a green-black deck the entire time that I was playing. Like, I think I only got to 6 or 7 wins yesterday in total. I'm trying to force myself to not play green-black, but it really does seem like it's the best. Now this sucks because we're on the play, we have 2 drops, and we just don't have lands, so I have to mulligan. Alright, here we go. So this is pretty strong. Like, just start in the abstract. We can even keep Shalai. Adanto Vanguard is a cool card in this deck because when you play it with Deafening Clarion, you can like pay the 4 life and keep your creature through the effects of the wrath. If they're on blue-white control, this threat alone is pretty obnoxious for them. They have to settle it or steal away. Cool. Alright, so let's get in for 3. Play history. If they tap out here, we get to play Shalai, which is going to turn off their ability to settle us. So we're going to save this for next turn, which would be their settle turn, right? And this way, if we'll play Shalai. Oh, they won't even have it. We can play Shalai first main phase, force them to have a counter spell, they have their own Deafening Clarion. Alright, so give our creature indestructible, hangs around. Jam for 3. And now we get to get Shalai on the board. So if their plan was to settle, they need to have an answer to Shalai first, because we have hexproof even though we don't get animated. No, they have it. Sort of. Still get to keep our Vanguard. Indestructible, folks. If we had another red source... Oh wait, we do. Ha! Alright. Nice Angels deck. So Adanto Vanguard did a ton of work there. Just plugging away for 3 every turn. So against a deck like them, I think they're probably a settled deck. So we want the Banefire, we want the Binding, we want the Tribunal. We don't want the Clarions. We probably don't want the Lightning Strikes. I think we want to keep the Justice Strikes in case they're bringing in things like Lyra, and maybe when we're on the, if we're on the play, game 3, if we lose, we would think about bringing in Tajic. Not exactly sure what this one's for, but I assume it's for these aggro, for these control decks so you can kind of get under them a little bit faster and snowball. But yeah, I think we're gonna play it like this. Winning off a mulligan's good. This hand's a little bit slower. We're on the draw, but we have inevitability with Banefire, so I kind of want to keep it. We still have turn 3 history into trying to jam Aurelias. There are no 1-drops in this deck, so it's not like meant to be super fast anyways. Which kind of makes it feel like a little uneasy in these control matchups. So they're going to represent Ionize here, but I think we just jam into it. Cool. Oh no, they don't have the double blue for Ionize. So they'd be repping like Syncopate here or Essence Scatter. We know they have the 5-mana Wrath in their deck. We know they have Clarion. I assume they have Settle too. I think the list that I was playing had like a mix of like 2 Settle, 1 Wrath, and like 3 Clarion. I wonder if it's worth it to try to get the... I don't think it's worth it to try to get the extra 2 damage here. I'm actually just going to hold, because this is going to hit them for 8 next turn, so I think they're going to use something. They're either going to use a Clarion on their turn, or try to settle us the turn following. So we can punish their settle turn by sticking Aurelia next turn. Alright, so there's Clarion us away. So knowing if we knew that that was their line, it would have been better to play the Aurelia, get the extra damage, and then have a threat this turn, but I think instead we'll just try to stick another history. We almost have enough mana to activate this thing, which is cool. Alright, Rao. Alright. Let's just get one into play while they're tapped out. Fortunately, no haste. So kind of trying to entice them to Wrath here, because these Resplendent Angels are enormous threats on their own. Unfortunately, they die to pretty much every burn spell that our opponent here likely left in their deck. It's a fairy. I wonder if we're going to see a minus here. Wow. Okay. I guess they just want to keep their Ral. And they have Justice Strike. Alright, so we're in trouble now. They had surprisingly clean answers to both our histories, and we messed up not trying to jam Aurelia that one turn. So now we know we need to just tap out against these decks. 2-4. So I think we're just going to have to do... we're going to have to do Aurelia, because it gets hit by less of their removal. Banefire to fairy for 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they actually could minus, but I think if they minus, then it keeps them off of their ultimate for several turns. No, I think it's a no-brainer for them to do that if they don't have any other clean answer. Nice sound effect. Lyra. Alright, so we're going to play Lyra here. No, shoot. I guess they have a lot of open mana. We could have tried to just play double Angel, but I wanted to play Lyra because if we get a swing in next turn, then we can do the second main phase Resplendent Angel and gain life. Alright, let's see Frenzy off the top. Oh nope, we have Aurelia coming. We already know what's coming. Alright. So I think the good news is it's unlikely they have 3 counter spells in hand. The bad news is this Angel is like so susceptible to removal. Seems quite bad in this matchup, actually. Unless you can exhaust them of cards completely, it can, and then it runs away with the game. All right. Oh, they're plussing, which is bad. Implies to me that they have some other form of answer to this Angel. They do. Nice use of Explosion there. Alright, so Justice Strike is more or less a blank. I guess they seem unlikely to bring in Aurelia's. Alright, so we're going to scoop here. Well, you know, let's see. I guess if we have Experiment on the top. No, now even with that, I think we can't. So let's go to game 3 where we'll be on the play, and hopefully we'll have a 2-drop. Let's try to think. I mean, I wonder if we are meant to bring in Tajic then over this. Seems horrible. Oh, yeah, and you know we're supposed to bring in the Spyglass too. Oh, we want to keep the Knight. Let's get rid of the Justice Strikes. It seems they don't have any creatures. Let's keep 1 Resplendent Angel. Well, that's that exact situation that I was talking about, why I wanted to try the Frenzy Experiment in the deck. I just feel like it's all too easy to just have them cleanly answer your first couple threats, and then you're just sitting there hoping to hit an answer that they can't, or hoping to hit a threat they can't answer. And meanwhile, they're drawing cards and playing planeswalkers. Alright, we'll keep this. I mean, curving knights into histories is a recipe for success. Awesome. Alright, they tapped out for search. So, weak of course to a Clarion here. But if they choose a Clarion now, they're only getting half of the history. They won't know the whole story. Haha. Alright. Oh, shoot. Ugh! No! I don't know if you saw, but I was trying to click through the end of my attack step, and then it flipped into the next main phase automatically, and it registered my click just to move through my turn. Potentially punishing here, because assuming that they're going to settle me, I won't be able to follow up with two things, which makes me want to do that now. Yeah. So this is quite good from we have a Banefire in our hand standpoint. It's not the end of the world, but missing a land drop is just not cool. Wow, they're shocking to play Teferi. Teferi plus goes to 5. And they get to untap. So now if we jam Aurelia here, so considering where they are health-wise, putting them to 8, 6, 7, yeah, putting them to 8 is better than answering it to Teferi, because we're one drawn land away from just being able to Banefire their face. Pretty sure they're still dead here. I guess it depends on they get to untap 2 lands and whether or not they're... Wow. Okay. So if they have like Lightning Strike or Justice Strike, it's still not good enough, right? We get to block, strike, or remove 1. Oh, no. So, X is greater than 5. Got him. Alright. was a little hairy there. Oh, by the way, you can see how much losing I did yesterday. When it chunked me back down from silver 2 to silver 3, it put me like here. It put me like a week's worth of winning back down below silver 2, because this rating system is still utterly ridiculous. Let's look at the time on that. Alright, 20 minutes. I think that was a decent enough show of the deck. Again, super expensive. Unfortunately, we didn't draw the card we were going to try out in it, which is Experimental Frenzy. I would still be interested in trying it. We had main deck Conclave Tribunal, huh? Alright, we had maybe more outs in that second game than I thought. But it's weird the way this deck works. Like it feels like a deck that's missing, that wants to be more aggressive. Our best draws easily are the ones where we go 2-drop into history. This card seems like garbage, or at least it felt like garbage in that matchup. I've definitely lost this card, and I know it can be very good. I don't know, it feels a bit of a mishmash of random stuff. Like, I kind of hate having Shalai without any way to activate her, but I understand that you want that protection against Settle the Wreckage, or I guess to otherwise try to protect your board from things like Ravenous Chupacabra, from picking off your better angels. But I don't know, overall, I think for how much it costs to invest in this deck, the sheer number of rares, I mean, is everything from History of Benalia up a rare? Almost. Not Conclave Tribunal, but everything else. And the cards these are replacing are all rares or mythics. So super expensive, but if you know, thematically, if you like the idea of playing like cool knights into cool angels, I guess that is a draw to the deck. And hey, we went another day without doing a new green-black deck, which, as you can see, I have like so many green-black decks. They just seem like they're the best decks in the format right now, but maybe that's just me. Anyways, that's it for today. That was Red White Angels, Boros Angels. I hope you enjoyed. Post below. I mean, I think what we're going to do now is, unless some new decks come out, we're going to start running some of these competitive constructed events. Putting 1,000, trying to get 2,100 back out. We found these to be really profitable prior to the open beta release. And just start grinding up the gold. I mean, I know that Ravnica just came out, but whatever Ravnica Set 2 is will probably be coming out in December, I want to say. So we have like 2.5 months to earn as much gold as we can, and this is probably the best way to earn gold in chunks of 500 or more for playing. So I think we have to start doing these. We're gonna have to pick decks and just try to create a lot of content and get to a couple 100,000 gold so that we can buy into the new set without spending any cash. That would be amazing. Anyways, that's it for today. Again, thank you everybody. 100 subscribers, amazing. Let's keep it coming. Give me ideas for more videos to do, post decks, and we will be back tomorrow.